In the small, forgotten town of Hollowbrook, nestled deep within the woods, a centuries-old graveyard stood as a solemn testament to the passage of time. The moss-covered tombstones leaned at odd angles, bearing weathered names and dates that seemed to fade into obscurity. Locals whispered of eerie occurrences in the graveyard, tales of shadows that danced among the tombstones and whispers that echoed in the night. Sarah Morgan, a young and curious journalist, arrived in Hollowbrook with the intention of uncovering the truth behind these unsettling rumors. Armed with her notebook and a determined spirit, she set out to investigate the mysteries that shrouded the graveyard. As night fell over the town, Sarah ventured into the graveyard, the moon casting an ethereal glow over the scene. The wind rustled through the trees, creating an eerie symphony that sent shivers down her spine. Her flashlight flickered as she walked among the tombstones, the silence broken only by the crunch of leaves beneath her feet. In the heart of the graveyard, Sarah stumbled upon an ancient mausoleum, its stone door slightly ajar. Despite her trepidation, she couldn't resist the pull of curiosity and cautiously pushed the door open. The air inside was heavy and suffocating, carrying with it a sense of foreboding. As her flashlight illuminated the dim interior, Sarah's breath caught in her throat. The walls were adorned with faded paintings depicting scenes of sorrow and despair. In the center of the chamber, a stone sarcophagus lay, the lid slightly ajar. Heart pounding, Sarah approached, her instincts urging her to uncover the truth that lay within. With a trembling hand, she pushed the lid fully open, revealing a desiccated corpse adorned in tattered finery. As her flashlight beam fell upon the remains, the air seemed to grow colder, and the walls around her began to whisper. The whispers grew louder, a cacophony of voices overlapping and intertwining. Sarah's head swam with a dizzying mix of fear and confusion as the voices revealed snippets of long-forgotten stories. She saw glimpses of a tormented love affair, a betrayal that led to a tragic end, and the vengeful spirit that had haunted the graveyard for centuries. Suddenly, the tombstones outside began to emit an otherworldly glow, casting eerie shadows that danced across the mausoleum walls. The whispers escalated into a cacophony of anguish, and the very ground beneath Sarah's feet seemed to tremble. Panicking, Sarah realized that she had disturbed the restless spirit, awakening a vengeful force that had been trapped within the mausoleum. Desperate to escape, she dashed out of the chamber, slamming the door shut behind her. But the whispers persisted, following her as she fled the graveyard. Back in her room at the inn, Sarah frantically researched the town's history, piecing together the puzzle of the vengeful spirit's tale. She discovered a forbidden love affair between two young lovers from feuding families, ending in a gruesome murder within the very mausoleum she had entered. Armed with newfound knowledge, Sarah returned to the graveyard, determined to put the spirit to rest. Guided by an old ritual she had found, she lit candles and recited incantations in a desperate bid to appease the vengeful soul. As the last word left her lips, the air grew still, and the tombstones ceased their eerie glow. The whispers gradually faded, replaced by a mournful sigh that seemed to echo through the night. Sarah felt a sense of profound sadness and closure as the spirit's presence finally lifted, its tormented soul finding peace at last. The graveyard, once a place of dread, now exuded an air of tranquility. The shadows that once danced malevolently had transformed into gentle flickers of light, and the whispers had been replaced by the soft rustle of leaves in the wind. Sarah's investigation had uncovered the tragic tale that had bound the spirit to the mausoleum, and in doing so, she had not only quelled its unrest but also brought a sense of healing to the town of Hollowbrook. As she left the graveyard, she couldn't help but feel a profound respect for the past and the stories that lingered in its mist, a reminder that even in the darkest of places, redemption and peace could be found.